Okay, short story time. I want to talk to you about the time when I saw this soul that had not crossed over and the reason why. So I had this client that came to me a few years back, and she kept telling me, my father passed, but my mother keeps talking to him like he's still present in the house. She keeps saying, oh, your father can't come to the phone because he just went grocery shopping. And she's like, I'm very disturbed. I don't know what to do. So one of the things that I can do is remotely tune in to somebody else's space with the authorization. I'm not going to do that for just shits and giggles, so don't panic. Either way. So what I did is, like, I tuned in, I asked for her father's name, I tuned in to him, I felt myself being pulled to where he was, and I found him upstairs in his office, pacing. Exactly one of the things that the mother had said is, like, I can hear your father is upstairs working as well. She would say that to my clients periodically. And so when I tuned into him, I felt him, and I was able to connect. And I asked him, I was just like, are you aware that you are no longer alive? Because that's always one of the first things that I ask in earthbound soul. And his answer was yes. And I said, what happened to you? And he showed me that he had a heart attack, but the heart attack was not the thing that actually killed him. What killed him was the fall. He hit his head. So I confirmed that with his daughter. And then I continued the conversation on with him. And I said, why are you still here? What is happening? Are you seeing a light? And he says, yes. I'm like, who is in the light with you? And he said, my mother. And I'm like, why won't you just go and meet with her? And his answer was, I'm scared. So when I asked him what he was scared of, he was scared of punishment. He had grown up Mormon, and he had stopped going to church probably about 30 years prior. And when he passed, the first thing his soul feared was the fear of hell, the fear of punishment for not having continued to follow into the doctrine. And so I had to reassure him, and I told him, there's no such thing as punishment. You are going to be welcomed with open arms, and all your mother wants to do is hug her son. And then finally, eventually, his daughter told me that he did end up crossing over because her mother's just stopped talking about him as if he was still alive. Now, why am I sharing this? Because what I have encountered more than once is people that are afraid of hell will stay stuck because of what they've been indoctrined into and what they have been taught. Religion teaches by fear. It teaches you that you have to believe that you will be punished so that you behave. It's not about autonomy. It's not about freedom. It's about control. And that control can last after the body has long been discarded, after the soul is out of the body. We can stop that soul from crossing over. Not every soul. A lot of souls just do end up going anyway. What happens to souls that have done horrible harm in this life? That's a very common question. So I'm not going to be too specific because I'm not interested in that debate. What I'm going to try to teach you is the concept of it. Everyone eventually crosses into the light. When they have gone there, depending on what they have left Earth with, what frequencies they have been navigating in, they will be held in different spaces. The spirit guides welcome, the spirit guides hold, the spirit guides decide, and put the soul based on what they're coming with. Everybody goes through a life review. Everyone goes through a healing. The goal is for everyone to be elevated to the same frequencies. That is the afterlife. So when a soul has reached to that, they all vibrate at the same frequencies. And so the souls that are held into more of a cocoon in a space because maybe they have committed atrocity in this life, those souls are held there until they can break out of that shield, heal, and then rise up to the frequencies necessary. If a soul cannot, and it can happen, it will be held as long as necessary. And if the spirit guides are unable to really reach it, then eventually that soul would be broken apart. It will be dispersed. Energy cannot be killed. Energy cannot be destroyed, but energy can be pulled apart. And this is what will happen to that soul. The essence of that soul would be discarded and would no longer exist. And the filament of that soul would be reintegrated into the whole. And which means that every soul that ever existed, that is in the afterlife, that is incarnated, has a filament of a soul that was eventually pulled apart. That process is very rare. Most souls are able to be rehabilitated however long it takes. But sometimes it does happen. If a soul has really partaken into the harm that it has inflicted on earth, and it rejoiced in it, it joined the body and the mind into those atrocities, then yes, it might be really hard to rehabilitate that soul. And in that case, it will be pulled apart. Again, very rare. So no, your aunt that maybe was mean to you as a child or has never had a kind word towards others is very unlikely pulled apart. Those are reserved likely for the worst of the worst. It is not for us to decide. It is not for us to judge. That is not for us to even know. Anyhow, I just want to share any questions. Please let me know. Matt, psychic medium. I bring you more grounded approach to psychic world.